Trust in God's plan. My beloved children, today I want to speak to you about faith, specifically the kind of faith that stands firm in the face of trials, uncertainty, and challenges. Faith is not just believing in me when things are going well, it is trusting in me even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. Faith is the assurance that I am with you, that I am guiding you, and that everything will work together for good, even when you cannot see the way forward. Do you remember the words in Hebrews 11:1? Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. This is the essence of faith, trusting in the unseen, believing in my promises, and holding fast to the truth that I am working all things together for your good, even in the darkest of times. I know that it can be difficult to hold on to faith when the storms of life rage around you. I know that there are moments when fear, doubt, and uncertainty threaten to overwhelm you. But I want you to know that I am with you, that I have a plan for you, and that my love for you will never fail. Faith is not about having all the answers. It is about trusting that I have the answers. It is about surrendering control and allowing me to lead you even when the path ahead seems unclear. It is about believing that I am good, that I am faithful, and that I will fulfill my promises to you in my perfect timing. Faith requires patience, endurance, and trust. It is not a passive belief, but an active choice to trust in me, even when everything around you is uncertain. Let us reflect on the story of Abraham. I called Abraham to leave his home, his family, and everything he knew, and to journey to a land that I would show him. Abraham did not know where he was going, but he trusted me. He believed that I had a plan for him, and that I would guide him to the place I had promised. His faith was not in what he could see, but in my word, and because of his faith, I made a covenant with him, blessing him with descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky. In the same way, my children, I am calling you to walk by faith, not by sight. I am calling you to trust in my plan for your life. Even when you do not understand it, there will be times when the road ahead is unclear, when you cannot see how things will work out. But I want you to remember this. I am with you, and I am working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see. I am arranging circumstances, moving hearts, and opening doors, all according to my perfect plan. Faith means letting go of the need to have all the answers. It means surrendering your fears, your doubts, and your worries into my hands, and trusting that I will provide for you, guide you, and protect you, just as I provided for the Israelites in the wilderness with manna from heaven. I will provide for your needs, just as I guided the Israelites with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. I will guide your steps, just as I delivered David from his enemies. I will deliver you from whatever challenges you face. Now, let us consider the story of Joseph. Joseph endured great trials, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and imprisoned. Yet through it all, Joseph held on to his faith. He trusted that I had a plan for him, even when his circumstances seemed hopeless. And because of his faith, I raised him up to a position of great authority, using him to save many lives during a time of famine. What others intended for evil, I used for good. My children, I want you to know that nothing is wasted in my hands. The trials you face, the difficulties you endure, are not without purpose. I am using them to shape you, to refine you, and to prepare you for the blessings that are yet to come. Just as I used Joseph's trials to position him for greatness, I am using your challenges to position you for the future I have prepared for you. Trust in me, for I am faithful and I will not fail you. Faith is also about perseverance. It is easy to have faith when everything is going well, but true faith is tested in the fire of adversity. It is in the difficult moments that your faith is strengthened, refined, and deepened. Just as gold is refined in the fire, so too is your faith refined through the trials you face. Do not be discouraged when you encounter difficulties, for I am with you, and I am using these trials to strengthen your faith and to draw you closer to me. In James 1:2-4, it says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. My children, the trials you face are not meant to destroy you, but to build you up. I am using them to develop perseverance in you, to mature your faith, and to make you complete. Let us now talk about trusting in my timing. One of the most challenging aspects of faith is waiting on my timing. You may have prayers that seem unanswered, dreams that seem delayed, and hopes that seem out of reach. But I want you to know that my timing is perfect. I see the bigger picture, and I know what is best for you. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a tree, so too do my plans for your life take time to unfold. Do you remember the story of Hannah? She longed for a child and prayed for many years without receiving the answer she desired. Yet, in my perfect timing, I blessed her with a son, Samuel, who became one of the greatest prophets in Israel's history. Hannah's faith was tested, but she continued to trust in me, even in the waiting. And in the end, I not only fulfilled her desire for a child, but I also used her son to accomplish great things for my kingdom. In the same way, I want you to trust in my timing. I have heard your prayers, and I am working in ways that you cannot see. The waiting is not a sign that I have forgotten you. It is a sign that I am preparing something greater for you. Be patient, my children, and trust that I will fulfill my promises to you at the right time. Faith also requires surrender, surrendering your own plans, your own desires, and your own understanding to me is an act of faith. It is saying, Lord, I may not understand why this is happening, but I trust that you do. I may not see the way forward, but I trust that you are guiding me. I may not have all the answers, but I trust that you are working all things together for good. Surrender is not giving up. It is giving control to me, the one who knows all things and who loves you more than you can imagine. In Proverbs 3:5-6, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." My children, I am calling you to trust in me with all your heart, not just in the areas where you feel comfortable or in control, but in every aspect of your life. I am calling you to surrender your understanding, your plans, and your desires to me, trusting that I will lead you on the path that is best for you. Let us reflect on the story of Moses. When I called Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, he felt inadequate and unprepared. He doubted his ability to fulfill the task I had given him. But I reminded him that it was not his strength that would accomplish my purposes, but mine. I provided the signs, the wonders, and the miracles needed to free my people from bondage. Moses did not need to rely on his own understanding or abilities. He needed only to trust in me. In the same way, I am calling you to trust in me. You may feel inadequate, unprepared, or unsure of what lies ahead, but I want you to know that I am with you. I am equipping you, strengthening you, and guiding you. You do not need to have all the answers, for I am the one who knows the way. Surrender your fears, your doubts, and your uncertainties to me, and trust that I will lead you on the path that leads to life. Now let us talk about hope. Faith and hope are deeply intertwined. Faith is the foundation of your hope, and hope gives you the strength to keep walking in faith even when the road is difficult. Hope is the confident expectation that I am faithful to my promises, that I am working all things together for good, and that the future I have for you is filled with purpose and blessing. In Romans 15:13, it says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." My children, I want you to live with hope, not despair. I want you to trust that the plans I have for you are good, that I am leading you toward a future filled with joy, peace, and purpose. When fear and doubt try to cloud your vision, hold on to the hope that I am with you, that I am for you, and that I am working all things for your good. Let us also reflect on the power of my word. My word is your anchor in times of uncertainty. It is the foundation upon which your faith is built. When fear tries to shake you, when doubt creeps in, I want you to return to my word, for it is there that you will find the truth that sets you free. My promises are sure, and they are everlasting. In Isaiah 55:11, it says, "So is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it." My children, I want you to immerse yourself in my word. Let it be the lamp to your feet and the light to your path. When you are rooted in my word, your faith will be unshakable. You will have the strength to face any challenge, for you will know that my promises are true and that I am faithful to fulfill them. As we continue on this journey of faith, I want you to remember this. I am with you. You are never alone, for I have promised to never leave you nor forsake you. I am walking with you through every trial, every challenge, and every uncertainty. Trust in me, for I am faithful. Live with strong faith, knowing that I am working all things together for your good and that my plans for you are greater than anything you can imagine. Go now, my beloved children, and live in the fullness of faith. Fear not, for I am with you always, even to the end of the age. Trusting God in difficult times. My beloved children, I know the challenges you face in this life. I see your struggles, your fears, and your doubts. Yet I ask you to have faith, strong faith, that is anchored in my love and in the truth of my promises. Faith is not just for the easy times. It is most powerful when the road is hard and the answers seem far away. Faith means trusting me, even when you cannot see the way forward, even when the storm is raging around you. It means knowing that I am with you, guiding you, and working all things together for good. Let us begin by understanding that faith is not a passive belief. It is an active trust in my goodness and my sovereignty. When you place your faith in me, you are saying, I believe in God's plan, even when I don't understand it. I trust His timing, even when it seems delayed. I know that He is for me, even when the circumstances are against me. This is the kind of faith that pleases me, a faith that does not waver in the face of difficulty, a faith that looks beyond the present moment, to the bigger picture of what I am doing in your life. In Hebrews 11:1, it is written, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." My children, faith is not about seeing with your physical eyes. It is about seeing with the eyes of your heart. It is about trusting that I am at work, even when you cannot see it. Just as you cannot see the wind, but know it is there by the way it moves the trees, so too must you trust that I am moving in your life, even when the path ahead seems unclear. Let us reflect on the story of Abraham. I called him to leave his home, his family, and everything he knew to go to a land that I would show him. Abraham did not know where he was going, but he trusted me. He believed that my plans for him were good, and he obeyed in faith. Because of his faith, I made a covenant with him, promising to bless him and his descendants. In the same way, I am calling you to trust me, even when you cannot see the full picture. My plans for you are good, and I am leading you toward a future filled with hope and purpose. Faith is also about surrendering your own understanding. Many times, my children, you try to make sense of everything that happens in your life. You want answers, explanations, and clarity. But I ask you to trust me beyond your understanding. My ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. There are things that you cannot understand now, but I am asking you to trust that I am working for your good. In Proverbs 3:5-6, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." My children, this is the kind of faith I am calling you to have. Faith that does not depend on what you can see or understand, but faith that is rooted in your trust in me. When you let go of the need to control or understand every detail, you make room for me to work in ways that you cannot imagine. Let us also reflect on the role of patience in living with strong faith. Patience is an essential part of faith because my timing is often different from yours. You may pray for something and not see the answer right away, but that does not mean I am not listening. I hear every prayer, and I am always working behind the scenes, orchestrating things for your good. Patience is trusting that I will fulfill my promises in the right time, according to my perfect plan. Do you remember the story of Joseph? I gave him dreams of greatness, but before those dreams were fulfilled, he faced many trials. He was sold into slavery by his brothers, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. Yet through it all, Joseph remained faithful to me. He trusted that I was with him, even in the darkest moments, and in the end, I exalted him to a position of great authority. Joseph's faith and patience allowed him to see my plan unfold in ways he could never have imagined. In the same way, I am asking you to trust my timing, to be patient in the waiting, and to know that I am working all things together for your good. Faith also requires courage. It takes courage to trust in me when the world around you is full of uncertainty. It takes courage to step out in faith, even when the path ahead is unclear. But I want you to know that you are not stepping out alone. I am with you every step of the way. My spirit is within you, giving you the strength, the wisdom, and the courage you need to face every challenge. Do you remember when I called Peter to walk on the water? As long as he kept his eyes on me, he was able to walk on the waves, even in the midst of the storm. But when he looked at the wind and the waves, he became afraid and began to sink. My children, this is a lesson in faith. When you keep your eyes on me, you can walk through any storm. But when you focus on the challenges, the fear, or the uncertainty, you begin to sink. I am asking you to keep your eyes on me, to trust that I am greater than the storms you face, and to know that I am with you, holding you up. Let us now reflect on the power of prayer and living with strong faith. Prayer is the way you stay connected to me, the way you draw strength from my presence, and the way you receive my peace in the midst of difficulty. When you pray, you're not just speaking words into the air. You are engaging with the creator of the universe, the one who holds all things in his hands. Prayer is an act of faith. It is saying, I trust you, Lord. I trust that you are in control, that you are listening, and that you are working for my good. In Philippians 4:6-7, it says, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. My children, I want you to bring all of your fears, all of your doubts, and all of your worries to me in prayer. I want you to trust that I am listening, that I care for you deeply, and that I will give you my peace, even in the midst of uncertainty. Let us also talk about faith in community. I have not called you to walk this journey of faith alone. I have placed people in your life to encourage you, to pray for you, and to walk alongside you. When your faith feels weak, lean on those around you who are strong in their faith. When you feel discouraged, reach out to those who can remind you of my promises. Together, you are stronger than you are alone. In Hebrews 10:24-25, it says, and let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. My children, community is a gift. It is a way for you to build each other up, to encourage each other, and to strengthen your faith. When you gather together in my name, I am there with you, and my spirit moves among you, bringing strength, comfort, and hope. Faith also requires gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful way to strengthen your faith because it shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. When you practice gratitude, you are reminding yourself of my faithfulness, my provision, and my goodness. Gratitude is not just for the good times. It is for all times. Even in the midst of difficulty, there are always reasons to give thanks. In 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18, it says, rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. My children, I want you to live with a heart of gratitude, no matter what you are facing. Gratitude strengthens your faith because it reminds you of all the ways I have been faithful in the past, and it gives you confidence that I will continue to be faithful in the future. When you give thanks, even in difficult times, you are declaring that I am good, that I am in control, and that you trust me. Now, let us consider the power of surrender in living with strong faith. Surrender is not about giving up. It is about giving over your fears, your worries, your doubts, and your plans to me. Surrender is about trusting that my plans are better than your plans, that my ways are higher than your ways, and that I am working all things together for your good. In Matthew 11:28-30, I said, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. My children, I am inviting you to surrender your burdens to me, to trust that I will carry them for you, and to rest in my peace. Surrender is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of faith. It is, Lord, I may not understand what is happening, but I trust you. I trust that you are in control, that your plans for me are good, and that you will never leave me nor forsake me. This kind of faith requires surrender, surrendering your need for control, surrendering your fears, and surrendering your doubts into my hands. Do you remember the words I spoke in Matthew 17:20? I told you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. This is the power of faith, my children. Even the smallest amount of faith, when placed in me, can move mountains. It can break chains of fear, doubt, and hopelessness. It can open doors that seemed shut and make a way where there seems to be no way. But faith is not always easy, especially in the midst of trials. It is in those moments of difficulty, when you face illness, loss, uncertainty, or hardship, that your faith is truly tested. Yet, these are also the moments when faith can grow the strongest. Let us reflect on the story of the disciples in the storm. As they crossed the sea, a violent storm arose, and fear gripped their hearts. They cried out to me, Lord, save us. We're going to drown. But I stood and rebuked the wind and the waves, saying, You of little faith, why are you so afraid? Then the storm was calmed. My children, I want you to know that I am with you in the storm. Just as I calmed the sea for my disciples, I am with you in your times of fear and uncertainty. When the waves of life threaten to overwhelm you, call out to me, and I will bring you peace. But I also ask you to trust me in the storm, to have faith that I am working even when the storm has not yet passed. Faith does not mean the absence of trials. It means trusting that I am with you in the midst of them. Let us now talk about patience, a key element of living with strong faith. Patience is about waiting on my timing, trusting that I am at work even when you do not see immediate results. I know that waiting is difficult, especially in a world that values quick answers and instant gratification. But I want you to understand that my timing is perfect. I see the bigger picture, and I am orchestrating events in your life according to my good and perfect plan. In Isaiah 40:31, it says, But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. My children, when you place your hope and faith in me, I will renew your strength. I will give you the endurance to walk through the difficult seasons of life without growing weary. Faith is not about rushing ahead, but about walking with me, trusting that I am guiding you step by step. There will be times in your life when you feel like you are walking through the wilderness, when it seems like nothing is happening, and you wonder if I have forgotten you. But I want you to know that the wilderness is a place of preparation. It is a place where I am strengthening your faith, refining your character, and preparing you for the blessings that are to come. Just as I led the Israelites through the wilderness to the promised land, I am leading you through this season of waiting to the fulfillment of my promises. Let us reflect on the story of Abraham. I promised Abraham that he would be the father of many nations. Yet for years, he and Sarah remained childless. It would have been easy for Abraham to lose faith, to doubt my promise, or to try to take matters into his own hands. But Abraham trusted me. He believed that what I had promised, I was able to fulfill. And in my perfect timing, I gave Abraham and Sarah a son, Isaac. Through their faith and patience, my promise was fulfilled. My children, I am asking you to have this kind of faith, faith that does not waver, even in the face of delay, faith that trusts my promises, even when circumstances seem to contradict them, faith that believes I am at work, even when you cannot yet see the results. I am faithful, and I will fulfill every promise I have made to you. But I ask you to wait on me, to trust in my timing, and to continue walking in faith, even in the waiting. Now, let us talk about the power of prayer in living with strong faith. Prayer is your connection to me, your lifeline to the one who holds all things in his hands. When you pray, you are inviting me into your situation, asking for my guidance, my strength, and my peace. Prayer is not just about asking for what you need. It is about aligning your heart with mine, trusting that I know what is best for you, and surrendering your will to my will. In Philippians 4:6-7, it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." My children, when you come to me in prayer, I give you my peace, a peace that is beyond human understanding. This peace is not dependent on your circumstances. It is a deep, abiding peace that comes from knowing that I am in control. When you pray, I want you to come with faith-filled expectancy. Believe that I hear your prayers and that I am working on your behalf. Even when my answer is not what you expected, trust that I am giving you what you need, not just what you want. Sometimes my answer is yes. Sometimes it is wait. And sometimes it is no, because I have something better for you. But in all things, I am working for your good, and I ask you to trust me with the outcome. Let us now talk about trusting me with your whole heart. In Proverbs 3:5-6, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." My children, I want you to trust me completely, not just in the areas where it is easy, but in every aspect of your life. Trusting me with your whole heart means letting go of the need to understand everything, letting go of the need to control every outcome, and fully surrendering to my will. I know that there are times when you feel overwhelmed by the weight of your circumstances, when you're tempted to rely on your own strength and understanding. But I am calling you to something greater. I am asking you to place your trust in me, knowing that I am able to do far more than you could ever ask or imagine. I am asking you to lean on me, to submit your plans to my plans, and to trust that I'm leading you down the path that is best for you. Do you remember the words I spoke in Jeremiah 29:11? "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." My children, I know the plans I have for you, and they are good. Even when life feels uncertain, even when you face challenges and setbacks, I want you to hold on to the truth that my plans for you are filled with hope and purpose. I am not leading you into harm. I am leading you into a future that is full of my goodness and grace. Now, let us reflect on faith as a journey. Faith is not a destination. It is a journey that you walk with me every day. There will be moments of great joy and moments of deep challenge, but through it all, I am with you. Faith is not about having all the answers. It is about trusting me with the questions. It is not about never having doubts. It is about bringing your doubts to me and allowing me to strengthen your faith. Let us consider the example of Peter. When I called him to walk on the water, Peter stepped out of the boat in faith, but when he saw the wind and the waves, he began to doubt and started to sink. Yet, even in that moment of doubt, Peter called out to me, "Lord, save me." And I immediately reached out my hand and caught him. My children, there will be times when you feel like Peter, when you step out in faith, but then find yourself overwhelmed by the circumstances around you. In those moments, I want you to remember that I am right there, ready to catch you. Call out to me, and I will lift you up. Faith is not about never sinking. It is about knowing that I am always there to lift you up. It is about trusting that no matter how deep the waters seem, I am greater than the storm. When you walk in faith, you're not walking alone. I am walking with you, guiding your steps and carrying you when the journey feels too hard. Let us now talk about the strength that comes from faith. Faith is not just a belief, it is a source of strength that sustains you through every trial. When you place your trust in me, you are drawing from my strength, not your own. You are leaning on my power, not your limited abilities. Faith gives you the courage to face the impossible, knowing that with me, all things are possible. In Philippians 4:13, it says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." My children, this is the strength that comes from faith, knowing that I am the source of your strength, that I am with you in every moment, and that I will give you everything you need to overcome. When you feel weak, remember that my strength is made perfect in your weakness. When you feel like giving up, know that I am there to carry you through. Now, let us reflect on living with faith in community. You are not called to walk this journey of faith alone. I have placed people in your life, friends, family, and fellow believers, to walk with you, to encourage you, and to strengthen your faith. When you face difficult times, lean on the support of those around you. Share your burdens with one another. Pray for one another, and lift each other up in faith. In Hebrews 10:24-25, it says, "And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." My children, community is a gift. It is through community that you find strength, encouragement, and support in your faith journey. Do not isolate yourselves when times are tough. Instead, lean on the people I have placed in your life. Together, you are stronger than fear, doubt, or adversity. As we come to the conclusion of this reflection, my beloved children, I want you to remember this. Faith is the key to living the life I have called you to live. It is through faith that you will overcome every obstacle, face every challenge, and walk in the fullness of my promises. Trust me with all your heart. Lean on me in every situation, and know that I am with you always. Go now, my children, and live with strong faith. Fear not, for I am with you, and with me you have nothing to fear. Trust in my goodness, believe in my promises, and walk in the strength that comes from knowing that I am always by your side. Trusting in God through difficult times. My beloved children, today I come to you with words of encouragement and guidance as you walk the path of faith. Faith, the foundation of your relationship with me, is not just a belief, but a deep, unwavering trust in my plans, my timing, and my purpose for your life. I call you to live with strong faith, even during the most difficult and uncertain times, because it is in those moments that your faith is truly tested and refined. Trust in me, for I have promised that everything will align according to my plan for good, even when you cannot yet see the full picture. Living with strong faith means trusting me when the way forward is unclear. It means holding on to the promises I have made, even when the circumstances around you seem overwhelming. Faith is not about having all the answers. It is about trusting that I am the answer. It is about surrendering your fears, your doubts, and your need for control, and placing your life in my hands, knowing that I am working all things together for your good. Let us reflect on what it means to trust in my timing. I know that waiting can be difficult. You live in a world that values instant gratification, a world where waiting feels like wasted time. But I want you to know that my timing is perfect and I am never late. I see the end from the beginning, and I know the best way to bring about the fulfillment of my promises in your life. There are times when it may feel like I am silent, like your prayers are going unanswered, but I want you to remember that I am always at work, even in the waiting. In Ecclesiastes 3:11, it says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." My children, trust that I am making everything beautiful in my perfect time. Do not be discouraged if the answers do not come as quickly as you hope, for I am using this time to prepare you, to strengthen your faith, and to align everything according to my plan. Waiting is not wasted time. It is a time of growth, a time of deepening your trust in me, and a time of refining your character. Living with strong faith also means trusting in my plans for your life, even when they differ from your own. You may have dreams, desires, and goals that you have carefully planned out, but I want you to know that my plans are far greater than anything you could ever imagine. I see the whole picture, and I know what is best for you. When you place your trust in me, you are allowing me to lead you on a path that is filled with purpose, joy, and fulfillment, even if that path looks different from what you expected. In Jeremiah 29:11, I spoke these words, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." These words are my promise to you, my beloved. No matter what challenges you face, no matter what disappointments or setbacks come your way, know that my plans for you are good. I am leading you toward a future filled with hope, and I will never lead you astray. Let us now reflect on the purpose of trials in your life. I know that difficult times can shake your faith and cause you to question my goodness, but I want you to understand that trials are not meant to harm you. They are meant to strengthen you. I use trials to refine your faith, to draw you closer to me, and to prepare you for the blessings that are to come. In James 1:2-4, it says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. My children, I know that it is not easy to rejoice in the midst of trials, but I want you to see them through my eyes. Trials are not the end of your story. They are part of your journey. They are the fire that purifies your faith, the pressure that shapes your character, and the training ground that prepares you for greater things. When you face trials with strong faith, you're allowing me to work in and through you, bringing about a deeper level of trust and intimacy in our relationship. Living with strong faith also means surrendering control. One of the greatest challenges of faith is letting go of the need to control every aspect of your life. You may feel that if you can just manage all the details, everything will work out the way you want. But I am asking you to release that burden of control and trust that I am in charge. Surrendering control is not a sign of weakness. It is a declaration of trust. It is acknowledging that I am the one who holds your future, that I am the one who knows what is best for you, and that I am able to do immeasurably more than you could ever ask or imagine. In Proverbs 3:5-6, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." My children, when you surrender control to me, you are freeing yourself from the weight of worry and fear. You are opening yourself up to the incredible plans I have for your life, plans that go beyond your understanding. Trust me, for I am leading you on a path that is filled with purpose, peace, and blessings. Let us also talk about the importance of community in living with strong faith. Faith is not meant to be walked alone. I have placed you in a community of believers so that you can encourage one another, support one another, and remind each other of my promises. When you are surrounded by others who are walking in faith, you are strengthened and encouraged in your own journey. Community is a gift from me, a source of strength and accountability that helps you to stay focused on my truth, even in the midst of challenges. In Hebrews 10:24-25, it says, "And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." My children, do not isolate yourselves in times of difficulty. Gather together with other believers, share your struggles, and pray for one another. When you come together in faith, you are stronger than when you stand alone. My presence is with you when you gather in my name, and together you will find the strength to persevere. Living with strong faith also means keeping your eyes on me. It is easy to become distracted by the storms of life, to focus on the problems, the challenges, and the uncertainties. But I am calling you to lift your eyes and fix them on me. When Peter stepped out of the boat and walked on water, he was able to do so because his eyes were fixed on me. But when he became distracted by the wind and the waves, he began to sink. In the same way, I am calling you to keep your eyes on me, even in the midst of the storm. When you focus on me, fear loses its power, and faith rises within you. In Hebrews 12:2, it says, "Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith." My children, I am the one who began this journey of faith in you, and I am the one who will bring it to completion. Trust in me, for I will not let you sink, no matter how strong the winds or how high the waves. I am with you, and I will see you through. Keep your eyes on me, and you will walk in the strength and courage that I have given you. Let us now reflect on the power of prayer in living with strong faith. Prayer is your lifeline to me. It is through prayer that you draw near to my heart, that you receive my peace, and that you are reminded of my faithfulness. When you pray, you are not just speaking words into the air. You are engaging in a conversation with the creator of the universe, the one who loves you more than you can imagine. Prayer is your source of strength in times of difficulty, and it is through prayer that your faith is strengthened and renewed. In Philippians 4:6-7, it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." My children, I want you to come to me with every concern, every fear, every need. I am your Father, and I care for you deeply. When you bring your worries to me in prayer, I will fill you with my peace, a peace that goes beyond your understanding, a peace that guards your heart against fear and doubt. Let us also talk about the importance of gratitude in living with strong faith. Gratitude is a powerful act of faith because it shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have. When you practice gratitude, you are acknowledging my faithfulness, my provision, and my goodness in your life. Gratitude strengthens your faith because it reminds you of all the ways I have been with you in the past, and it gives you confidence that I will continue to be with you in the future. In 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18, it says, "Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." My children, I want you to live with a heart of gratitude, even in the midst of difficulty. When you choose to give thanks in all circumstances, you are declaring your trust in my goodness, even when you cannot see the full picture. Gratitude is a declaration of faith, a statement that you believe I am working all things together for your good. Let us now reflect on the power of perseverance. Living with strong faith means continuing to trust me, even when the road is long and difficult. It means pressing on, even when you feel weary, and trusting that I am with you every step of the way. Perseverance is not about never feeling tired or discouraged. It is about choosing to keep going, even when you feel like giving up. It is about trusting that I am working in ways that you cannot yet see, and that the fulfillment of my promises is on the way. In Galatians 6:9, it says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." My children, I know that there are times when you feel weary, when you wonder if the breakthrough will ever come. But I want you to know that I am faithful to my promises. Do not give up, for the harvest is coming. Keep walking in faith. Keep trusting in me, and you will see the fulfillment of my promises in your life. As we conclude this reflection, I want to leave you with this final truth. I am with you always. No matter what challenges you face, no matter what difficulties come your way, I am with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Trust in me, for I am faithful. Live with strong faith, knowing that everything will align according to my plan for good. Go now, my children, and walk in the confidence that comes from living with strong faith. Fear not, for I am with you always, even to the end of the age. Trusting God in difficult times, my beloved children, today I call you to walk in faith, a faith that is not shaken by the storms of life, but one that is deeply rooted in the knowledge that I am with you always. I see your struggles, I hear your prayers, and I know the challenges you face. Yet, I want to remind you that in every trial, I am working for your good. My plans for you are greater than you can imagine, and I ask you to trust in me even when the way ahead seems uncertain. Faith is not simply a belief in my existence. Faith is trust, unwavering trust in my love for you and in my ability to guide you through every circumstance. When I call you to live by faith, I am asking you to rely on me fully, to place your hope in me, and to walk with confidence, knowing that I will never leave you nor forsake you. Let us reflect on the nature of faith. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. It is easy to trust me when everything in your life is going smoothly, when your path is clear, and when your heart is at peace. But I call you to strong faith, the kind of faith that remains steadfast even when the waves crash around you, even when the road ahead is difficult, and even when you cannot see the full picture. This is the faith that moves mountains, the faith that brings peace in the storm, and the faith that allows you to walk on water. Do you remember when Peter stepped out of the boat to walk toward me on the water? As long as he kept his eyes on me, he was able to walk on the waves. But the moment he looked at the wind and the waves, he began to sink. My children, in the same way, I am calling you to keep your eyes fixed on me. When you focus on the challenges around you, fear and doubt begin to creep in. But when you focus on me, you will find the strength to rise above the storm. You may not always understand why certain trials come your way, but I ask you to trust. I am with you in every moment. Now let us talk about trust. Trust is at the heart of faith. Trusting in me means surrendering your fears, your doubts, and your need for control, and allowing me to guide your steps. It means believing that I am for you, that I am working on your behalf, and that even in the most difficult seasons, I am bringing good out of your circumstances. In Proverbs 3, 5 through 6, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." My children, I am asking you to trust me with all your heart. There will be times when your understanding falls short, when you cannot see the way forward, and when you wonder why certain things are happening. But in those moments, I want you to lean on me. My ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. I see the bigger picture, and I am working all things together for your good. Let us reflect on the story of Abraham. When I called Abraham to leave his home and go to a land he had never seen, he obeyed in faith. He did not know where I was leading him, but he trusted that I was guiding his steps. And because of his faith, I made a covenant with him, promising to bless him and make him the father of many nations. In the same way, I am calling you to walk by faith, trusting that I am leading you towards something greater, even if you cannot see it yet. Faith does not mean that you will never face challenges. In fact, there will be times when your faith is tested, when the road ahead seems difficult, and when you wonder if I am truly with you. But it is in these moments that I am drawing you closer to me. I am strengthening your faith, refining your character, and teaching you to rely on my strength rather than your own. Just as gold is refined in the fire, so too is your faith refined through trials. In James 1 2 to 4, it says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. My children, I want you to understand that your trials are not without purpose. I am using them to strengthen your faith, to build your character, and to prepare you for the greater things I have planned for you. Now, let us talk about perseverance. Faith is not just about believing in me for a moment. It is about persevering in your trust in me, even when the journey is long and difficult. Perseverance is the ability to keep moving forward in faith, even when the answers to your prayers seem delayed, even when the breakthrough has not yet come, and even when you grow weary from the trials you are facing. Do you remember the story of Joseph? He was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and imprisoned. Yet through it all, Joseph never lost faith in me. He trusted that I was with him, even in the darkest moments. And in the end, I exalted Joseph to a position of great authority, using him to save many lives during a time of famine. What the enemy meant for evil, I used for good. In the same way, my children, I am working in your life, even when it seems like everything is going wrong. Trust in me, for I am faithful, and I will bring my promises to pass. Perseverance requires hope. Hope is what keeps you moving forward, even when the road is difficult. Hope is what gives you the strength to continue trusting in me, even when you cannot see the full picture. Hope reminds you that I am with you, that I am working on your behalf, and that the future I have for you is filled with good things. My children, I want you to live with hope, knowing that I am faithful to my promises and that I will never fail you. In Romans 8:28, it says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." This is my promise to you. No matter what you are going through, I am working all things together for your good. I know that it can be difficult to see how your current circumstances are part of my plan, but I want you to trust that I am weaving all things together into a beautiful tapestry that will reveal my glory and my goodness in your life. Now, let us talk about faith in action. Faith is not just something you hold in your heart, it is something you live out in your daily life. Faith without action is dead, as it says in James 2:17. I am calling you to live out your faith, to trust in me not just with your words, but with your actions. When you step out in faith, when you trust me enough to take the next step, even when you cannot see the whole path, you are demonstrating your trust in my plan for your life. Do you remember when the Israelites stood before the Red Sea with the Egyptian army closing in behind them? They were trapped with no way forward and no way back. But I told Moses to stretch out his hand over the sea, and as he did, the waters parted, and the Israelites walked through on dry ground. My children, in the same way, I am calling you to step out in faith. You may not see how the way will be made, but when you trust in me and take that step of faith, I will make a way where there seems to be no way. Faith in action means trusting me with your life, your decisions, and your future. It means surrendering your plans to me and allowing me to guide your steps. It means walking in obedience, even when the path is difficult. My children, I want you to know that every step of faith you take brings you closer to the fulfillment of my promises in your life. Do not be afraid to take that step, for I am with you, and I will not let you fall. let us also reflect on the importance of community. I have not called you to walk this journey of faith alone. I have placed people in your life to encourage you, to support you, and to walk alongside you. In times of difficulty, it is easy to feel isolated, to believe that you must face your struggles alone. But I want you to know that you are not alone. I have given you a community of believers to lift you up, to pray for you, and to remind you of my promises. In Hebrews 10:24 to 25, it says, "And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." My children, I am calling you to be part of a community of faith where you can find strength, encouragement, and hope. When you are surrounded by others who are walking in faith, your own faith is strengthened, and you are reminded that you are not alone. Let us also talk about the role of prayer in living with strong faith. Prayer is your lifeline to me, your way of staying connected to my heart and my will. When you pray, you are not just speaking words into the air. You are engaging with the creator of the universe, the one who loves you and has a plan for your life. Prayer is the way you align your heart with mine, the way you receive my strength, and the way you find peace in the midst of uncertainty. In Philippians 4:6 to 7, it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." My children, when you come to me in prayer, you are laying your burdens at my feet, and I will give you peace. In prayer, you are reminded that I am in control, that I am working on your behalf, and that you have nothing to fear. Prayer is also a way of building your faith. When you pray, you are actively placing your trust in me, believing that I hear you, that I see you, and that I will answer you, even when the answer does not come immediately or when it is not the answer you expected. Know that I am working all things together for your good. Keep coming to me in prayer, keep trusting in my love, and keep believing that I am faithful. Now, let us reflect on the power of gratitude in living with strong faith. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, from the challenges you face to the blessings I have already provided. When you cultivate a heart of gratitude, you are strengthening your faith by reminding yourself of my faithfulness, my provision, and my goodness. In 1 Thessalonians 5:16 to 18, it says, "Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." My children, I want you to give thanks in all circumstances, not just when things are going well, but even in the midst of trials. Gratitude is a powerful act of faith, for it declares that I am good, even when life is difficult. It is a way of saying, I trust that God is working in my life, even when I cannot see it yet. Gratitude opens your eyes to the ways I am moving in your life. When you give thanks, you are reminding yourself of my presence, my love, and my power. You are choosing to focus on the blessings I have already given you, and in doing so, you are strengthening your faith for the journey ahead. As we come to the close of this reflection, my beloved children, I want to leave you with this. Live with strong faith. Trust in me with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. Walk by faith not by sight, and know that I am with you always, even to the end of the age. You are never alone, for I am guiding your steps, strengthening your heart, and working all things together for your good. Go now and live in the fullness of my love. Let your faith be a light to the world, a testimony of my goodness, and a source of hope for others. Fear not, for I am with you, and with me all things are possible.